Greetings, I am Liz, and I use she, her.
And I am Scandal, and I use they, them.
And let's play a game together.
Haha.
Alrighty, we're gonna give this more shots. So we've reoriented a little bit, and I still really want to see where this story's going. So we're digging right in.
We are. We're gonna do it.
I haven't noticed these details last time. Lost memories trickling in. This is good. I can do this. I am in my element. Performance of work. Fulfillment of duty. Do you remember being that thing? Or do you just have been told you are that thing?
Right.
The confidence seems to jog something loose in my heart. Thoughts spring up. Inquisitive. Intelligent.
Thoughts come from your heart. I actually kind of like that. Like, it's a little bit more intimate than, like...
Your head.
Your head. Which is actually really funny because so many things happen in your unconscious and your subconscious mind. Like, woof.
It's true. But I kind of like that.
Your
or
id
also,
is talking to you.
Something, loose in my heart also could just be like a block in your emotions.
Yeah.
Which I kind of like too. But I like it both ways. Inquisitive. Intelligent. Foreign. I hear them like a stranger eavesdropping on myself. The whispers were the problem. Need to drown them out. Use the breath. Through constricted nose. Make it continuous. How do you... Through constricted nose? Like, do you plug your nose slightly? Or...
I mean...
you just suck in really, really hard till it, like, pulls in on itself?
That's kind of what I'm thinking.
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Like, sorry, so you sound like...
just whoosh!
Snort.
Whee!
Honk.
It makes sense, I realize. I should try that. Taking a breath, letting it fill up my abdomen, then stomach, then chest. I release a thin stream, setting it to rasp against my upper nasal cavity. Okay, interesting. Sorry, I just was trying to try that. Going, huh? The rasping is loud enough that I could imagine I'm hearing the tides. The other noises in the library all but disappear. It's working. How do you breathe loudly enough through your nose that it makes everything else quiet? Is it like rumbling? Is it like snorting?
That would actually be really funny if that's what's going on, or you could honestly be like, well, there might be some sort of like extra organ.
Or it could be a specific trick like that they know that we can't necessarily do, but it sounds really interesting.
It's like throat singing. We don't necessarily have access to it culturally.
It's nasal singing.
Aha! Because that's what I'm doing. Anyway.
Could be. I open the sigil and begin...
Because that's up against your nasal cavity. Like, I know how to do that.
Yeah.
Your sinuses, as you were.
I open to the sigil and begin immediately to copy. As my breath wanes, I hear a faint, wispy lullaby insinuate itself.
You need to be like the person who figured out how to blow a continuous note by also breathing at the same time, which is actually a thing you can learn how to do. And
Circular breathing.
Oh, God. I wanted to learn how to do it, and I could never figure out how to do it.
It sounds insane. I bet there's a good tutorial online now, the way there didn't used to be when either of us were smaller.
Yes.
No, not that. I take a quick breath and scrunch my nostrils more, forcing the rasp louder. Maybe they have, like, flexible noses like seals?
Oh, maybe.
Like, you can actually just close your own nose flaps? It clashes with the whispers. Working, but not for long. My pencil races. I learn that I can draw. Wow!
Hey, ding!
My chest starts to burn. The urge to relax my breathing builds. I can't keep this up much longer. The voices hiss louder. My hands start to shake. I'm almost there. Just a little more. Push.
I'm actually deeply charmed, honestly, that it's like, yeah, you have this active, basically, sigil. You have magic that you have just put down. Of course it's still active. It doesn't just go, and now I will just read the thing off the page, and it literally means nothing. It doesn't mean anything until I call it an action. It's like, no, it exists without it because you've conceptualized it, you've put it down.
It contains and is magic.
Yes.
Yeah, I like that too. Squeezing the air out, chest on fire, pulse beating loudly in my ears, I finish copying and shut the book. Plop. Putting the words to sleep at last. I smile, despite the throbbing pain and dizziness. Yes, progress. I cannot wait to see the look on their face. I roll
Suck it, Ilar.
I just, Ilar, Pep, I I did it. The one thing in my entire life that I can remember doing, the only task I've ever had, I've done it.
You know what I also think is really interesting is it really was like, it kind of then did end up requiring that you need to sort of remember who you are, because Ilar might actually be completely useless in that way. Like going, I can't tell you what to do because it's your stuff.
And I literally
but I also
don't
cannot
know.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, that is an interesting conundrum, actually, of realizing, like, also, Ilar might just be a bad teacher.
That's possible. Or director. Also, Ilar could be trying to control the thing, depression, and create a heart vessel for you. Mm-hmm. And be terrified for both of your lives. And there's just no room to actually think and teach and direct after that.
No.
The fact that they have any ability to communicate and tell you what to do in a composed fashion is pretty amazing. Mm-hmm. Also, with your whole memory thing, providing that's what that scene was.
Right.
There's some level of going, normal people fail at this shit constantly. You're the only one that can do it because you really have to be that good.
Oh, well then that's the other thing too. Like, Ilar really might not be able to do this. So it's like, the only thing I can do is going, you've got to be able to do it. But I can't also spend time with you in your previous memories because I don't know what you're going to remember and whether or not that'll be useful at all. And
whether or not it will stop you from what you're doing.
Right.
I roll the paper into a baton and slide it into a pocket. How many pockets do you have? Good individual. Black salt, mantra, something for the blood? 3 more steps. I can do this. I knock on the journal. Don't go anywhere. I'll return soon enough. Dodging the occasional piece of debris is becoming second nature now that I've crossed the barrier so many times. Will they approve? Why should I care? Getting the task done is its own reward, surely.
If that were true,
ADHD.
I was about to say, also, in a lot of ways, people are taught very strongly to have external validation in a lot of cultures anyway, because we are social creatures. In that way, the fact that we are social and we are socialized to be social even more, of course we look for external validation.
Mm-hmm. Still, it's nice to be praised. Maybe they'll be in a better mood and reveal more of my past to me.
I thought you put that down. Oh, I'm sorry.
That seems as likely as depression deciding to just give up and sink back down. You have to keep your hopes up, right? Not this again. I stopped myself just short of walking into the couch. Quiet, all of you, I mutter aloud. Wait, not what again?
The thing is, you're talking to yourself. You have to keep your hopes up, right? Not this again. I think the thing is so you're going to have, these are all multiple voices talking to each other. It's nice to be praised. This thing, huh? No, stop that.
It's like, brain, be quiet. Where is Ilar? A soft clink. I turn around. They're not here. My nerves are on edge. Papers rustle nearby. I turn around again. Just a book gliding too close. I brush it away. They're really not here? Was it something to do with our last conversation? Why is it always about you?
My question is then to the character going like, why would you choose to walk away, Ben? Well, I'm done with that part. But, like, you have other things you could do. You could be doing more research. Your heart vessel hasn't lost it yet. Like, I mean, you could go around in the books, in the shelf. You could be like, hey, let's find other things.
For what?
For if they are interested in their past, according to this.
Oh, I was going to say, I think in that moment they were like, I just got the task done. This is so good. I have an object for the blood. I have, the black powder. I have the sigil. I've got the mantra. Because I think that list was, I am grabbing these things.
Okay.
Not, I am going, these are all the things we need.
I thought it was just a drawing that they got this time. It's okay. But I'm still just like, I would imagine if your character was that preoccupied still, really just going like, hey, there are other things in the drawers. I could look at other things.
I think they were just really focused on getting that one thing done, but also I'm like, why not go back to the Ilar that's always there and doesn't disappear? The one at depression. I go back to the couch and go, where is that one?
Right.
Oh well, that's okay. Why is it always about you? Who else would it be about? Maybe it's about them. They ran away when I asked about us. Was it wrong to ask? What could have happened between us? Curse this useless head of mine. Catching myself talking with my lonesome again, I get up and pace about. Oh, we sat down. You have to cheer up someone else when you're down. Right. I start picking up and glancing at the papers scattered here and there, hushing them. You poor things. More letters? Or are those verses?
Every waking moment, switch off track. Wrong accent today. Progressing on wherewithal, things half remembered, that moment of terrible recognition of the familiar, stranger than a drunken dream. One never wakes of friends close, but kept my enemy closer until they were inside.
That is a little bit freeform in that writing. Unsigned, but...
I was about to say, that's you. That's not... Yeah, sorry.
Written in the same rigorous hand as the journal. Yeah, this is us.
Yeah. Sorry, it's also I was like, hang on, wrong accent, and
I
also...
look all around the table. How many are there?
I wanted to. I have whispered it inside.
And almost said it aloud, but whenever I endeavored to, something would interrupt me. I
think it's A.
A journal entry required editing. A specimen needed dowsing. Water sensors had to be refilled. A mantra for the next ritual demanded further articulation. The afternoon tea and macho. I'm like, I was always too busy, damn it. Curiouser and curiouser. Who are these for? I can still do it, you know. My intellect and the knowledge of a lifetime still fill my heart tree. The relics and mantras ready, the homunculus nearing full maturity. Nothing prevents this, so no material thing. Why can I not? If only. Sorrow. My brows wrinkle, like the whispering in the journal. I can't suppress the feeling that someone is playing a joke on me.
I think this is really interesting because part of my brain is like, were you just drunk? Because I think, okay, so based on the reason why I'm asking this question is because your character has been stated to, at least in their magic book, be incredibly, like, coordinated, and they just have it all.
It's all together.
It's very neat, it's very clean, you got it, every bit of it. What's with the random sort of jumping around? Like, is it, again, are they drunk? Are they under the influence of something?
Are they just like I'm very emotional, I'm scrolling stuff down?
But it's also like, it doesn't even seem like it's emotional, like, vomit. Mm-mm. It sounds, okay, I must say this in a way, and I don't mean this harshly, but it sounds like it was deliberately put that way to be confusing. Not like somebody actually just vent writing.
It's more like this is a piece of plot than it is this is a piece of character.
Yeah.
See, and I was having the problem where going, okay, we've gone over to the couch, and then we're like, I'm looking at the papers. What papers?
Yeah.
On the table. Since when? You know?
I'm like, you just said we sat down.
And also, it didn't say we sat down. It just said we got up. We go to the couch.
Well,
and then we
you
get
have
up.
implied that we sat down because now we're getting back. Like, I'm getting a little bit lost too.
And I was like, is there a table next to the couch that just has had a bunch of papers on it the whole time? Now, we did say, like, there was furniture around that had stuff scattered all over it, and, like, it looked like something, you know, like a big mess was everywhere. Mm-hmm. But, like, this sounds very specific, and I don't know. I need it to make sense. How? Why do you need this specific thing to make sense? It's not the thing. It's you? What? It makes no sense because you are looking for a specific kind of sense. What should I do then? Look for a different kind of sense. But how? Are we just pep talking ourselves?
We are talking to ourselves. So you're having I think what you have is, you have old you talking to new you.
That's possible. The inner voice falls silent. It would be really helpful to know, to have them distinguished in a little way.
Also, there is a thing, too, that I found to be interesting, is that they had the inner voice done in italics initially, and then it's kind of, like, popped back and forth, and now it seems like it's gone away.
And so that was why I was going, I was like, this doesn't sound like the other thing talking.
Yeah.
This sounds like you talking to yourself. And maybe you're supposed to feel a little more contained now, and so it's not differentiated in the same way. It's more like you thinking at yourself.
Maybe?
Since the memory experience. But I don't know. I'm a little lost. Soft clinking behind me. I tense up, turn to look, expectant. It was only a triplet of glass cups swirling. Still no Ilar. For Laura's sake, where are they? What would they say about these letters? Something cryptic, most likely. Or something funny. Their letters often were. Are we remembering more things? I need something like that now. I jumped to my feet. We sat down again. And scanned
we are really, like, it sounds like we're really losing it, honestly.
Sounds like we are.
Like, if this is what is... Okay, so if we're just gonna go with this is what's going on, it really sounds like we are deeply uncoordinated and very confused right now.
Yeah, and we're just kind of having that sort of disconnected thing where we're barely paying attention to what we're doing, but we're also fidgeting around a lot. Of, you get up, you grab a thing, you sit down again, you shuffle through it, you get up, you sit down. You're trying to figure out what to do. Your own movements are as disjointed as the thoughts in your head. And scan the stream of flying objects, looking for sparks of vibrancy in the gloom. There, I hastened to a spot along the stream, eyes locked on ambrosia paper ball above.
Amberosa.
Thank you, Amberosa, nearly tripping over a chair. It's too high. The chair! I upright it and step atop. Come on, you! I command my quarry. Also, the chair didn't seem to have a problem. Okay, but the chair wasn't floating. I think it was just on the ground. By the Divana, seems to obey, dropping and spinning towards me. Snatching it, I plopped down on the chair and eagerly spread it to read. I know what you're trying to do. Look at the crinkles on the paper. And I dearly wish these gestures of yours could erase the words like arithmetics, affection measured against pain. But it isn't so simple. I'm sorry. Wonder what I was trying to make up for. Or what you were saying someone else needed to make up for if you're writing these?
Was that the Ilar text? Because I think that's actually bigger. The
I
font
don't
is different on this one.
know about the two different... Like, have we seen two types of handwriting?
Yeah, we have. I just don't remember what Ilar's is right now.
I don't either.
Haha.
What else is there? I'm also like a floating object that didn't, stretch out and goozify when we touched it. I might have spent a tease time here, resting or talking with Ilar. Surely I can turn that into the same amount of time gathering clues, right? I peer up, move the chair to a spot with the most activity, and climb up, set on plucking anything that resembles a discarded letter. Why are we suddenly fixated on letters and or things written on paper? Because, they're calling them letters, but to me they're just
notes,
writing. It's not even
scraps.
Like scraps. It's just, I don't know.
So, like I said, they seem far too distinctively, directed of... They're too plot-oriented weird, is my problem. I'm going, they don't sound like letters. They just sort of sound like, here's supposed to be, I found another tape, and I will listen to the tape that is super vague and really, not how natural, talking or, speech patterns or...
Why would somebody put these specific words here?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was going to say, it would be very interesting to find out what the motivation and the state was behind writing those things. Here comes a few now. One hand on the chair back for balance. I reach up with the other and snatch one in... What? Snatch one in...
Oh, you're picking a language.
Oh.
I betcha.
Whoa. Okay. Because I'm like, they're just bits of paper and you can see what they're written in before they even get to you. And you pick them by their language.
We are remembering stuff then really erratically at a really aggressive rate.
It just sounds like stuff is being dumped into our head real fast. Livridian, Sangwamar, Deep Rind. How do you know those are languages, though?
That is my guess, because I reach up with the other and snatch one in, and based on everything else...
Because it's not in your hand, and these aren't appendages.
Yeah, so I'm like, sounds like languages.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I was like, oh, those are languages. Because that also just sounds like the kinds of things that people would do.
Alright, Sanguinmar, I guess.
A blood language.
Yep.
Let's do it.
Aye.
I'm here because of you and the unique opportunity you give me. I chose them. I'm choosing now, but the choice is getting harder. I don't want to think about what happened when I can't make that choice anymore, but I won't give up yet.
So what, again, if they're
At least
not
I'm
torn,
assuming.
if these are complete scraps of paper or complete pieces of paper that are not torn, damaged, or compromised, why would someone just write that by itself?
Like I said, this sounds a little bit too staged, if you will.
It couldn't be that bad. They're still here after all. Okay, so we're saying that was
Ilar. So that handwriting and the one before it, this is Ilar.
Okay.
Okay.
Me and my dyslexia, I can't tell them apart without them being next to each other.
Yeah, no, I'm having a hard time too, but this font is actually bigger than the other one, so that's why I was like, hang on, there's something
I believe you. Back to fishing. Another flock comes. That's kind of cute. catch one in... I'm just like, why are there so many different languages? And again, if they're these crumpled balls of paper or whatever, I guess they must be spread out some for you to be able to see what language they're in.
Right.
All right. Tyrell. Let's do Immerwald.
Immerwald sounds cute.
Does.
Ah, young guard! A peril comes your way. I've enchanted the letters again, and now my birds will seek you, even if you are not in the study. It might be a touch pointless since you live in the study, but if you ever come out, then be prepared.
That's so great. It's the little letters, like basically like folded up like the paper crane,
Uh-huh.
flying after you, wherever you are. Pep! You have now received your missive. Bonk.
I'm also like, okay, so these are like tiny,
Notes?
like the paper crane, like notes that are like, and they're literally flying to you. Okay, but I'm like, these still don't sound.
They
I don't know. They could also like. I guess it's possible that this is
This
sort of
one
like,
sounds more like a directed letter to me
Yes.
than the other ones.
yeah, like the one specifically from your character, which I am assuming, like specifically from Vin to Ilara, I guess in this case, or even to themselves, just sounds sort of. That sounded way too abstract.
Again, really abstract for why are you writing this down, and why are you writing it down as a little scrap, a note of paper? And honestly, if that's how you wrote to Ilar, no wonder they're like a little overwhelmed and frustrated.
But it also might be that, again, if you sort of like just have pieces of the conversation, it could flow together. You know
What order everything's in?
Yeah.
And going, this, while it is a complete piece of paper, it's a section of a larger letter.
Right?
Okay. Is that why they seem to want to be caught? And here I thought I was just lucky. Also, I was still crumpled balls of paper, but it sounds now like they're full of like paper cranes.
Yeah.
Because
Or,
again, also calling them a flock.
yes. Oh, so these are just flying birds.
I imagine, but the flock thing doesn't guarantee that.
Or it could just be like, sort of shapes that were reminiscent maybe of birds, but they're not really birds anymore.
Again,
Because they obviously have already been read, I think, is what's happened.
It could be crumpled origami or something. Or again, also like paper spread out. Some people think it looks like it's flapping and could be called, a flock just because it's in a group in the air.
Right.
But like, this sounds like, I was folding them into specifically cranes because which would nod back to, this would be a payoff for the setup of the other crane.
Right.
And they fly to you and find you wherever you may be.
Right.
Interesting. But I have a hunch it's not the whole story. So, one more.
I can't sleep again. It's worry. Won't leave me be. We've been digging for so long that we forgot what we were doing it. Worse yet, we can't see anything else besides the things we could have done, places we could have been. Yet, you keep digging.
We had some kind of a goal together, but the obsession with the goal has removed any purpose to the journey.
Right.
And
I mean, like I said, this might really be a case of, like, even with the beginning ones, even though my brain is like, those ones were too odd for me.
They sounded real vague compared to this, and indirect.
Yeah, and they didn't really seem like they were, like, a part of a partial conversation.
They
But I
didn't.
guess if, like, I could figure out, or if there's even a way to figure out, like, the beginning, or even some of the other conversation around it, it could probably make more sense, but I don't know.
Also, this one, we didn't pick what language or whatever.
Nope, not at all.
Which, like, I have no idea what any of those choices mean, because I have no connection to any of those. And so, like, I appreciate that those choices might do something to the game, but with no connection to if they are even languages or what they are, it feels it feels strange to pick in them.
Right.
To pick things that I have no connection to at all.
I mean,
and maybe
that
the
might-
game will do something with that, because that would be neat.
Part of me wants to be like, I think that's kind of the point. You don't really have a connection to it. You just go, oh, that's Immerwald, but you don't know what that is. Does that make sense?
Oh, like you're sort of remembering things, but you have no context outside of the one thing.
Yes.
Okay, I can see that. And sort of being like, it's sort of like when you go to a place and you're like,
I know what this is. How do I use it? The thing that your mom has talked about before, going like, I can read it, but I don't. What am I doing with
so
it?
I interviewed my mom. So I talked about how people with memory loss never seemed like they were doing what happens in these various games where you have amnesiacs ever. So I actually sat down and asked my mom between episodes, and I went, hey, so can I actually ask you some real specific questions about your memory experience and your friends who have memory problems and what it's like? And I went through a couple of things specifically relevant to the tropes I've seen in the games and stuff, or, run into. And she said, like, while she said, no, I've never just obsessed upon lost memories. No, there is never an empty space that you can feel where the memory is gone that she's encountered either with herself or her friends. And she said the primary difficulty comes not when someone tells you should know something. She says usually if someone goes, oh my God, I remember you, and you don't know them, you just go sorry and shrug, and then, politely have a conversation with a stranger that knows you.
Right.
She's like, and or if someone's like, this memory, you need to remember it, you're just like, I don't, and you just don't worry about it.
Right.
But she says the frustration really comes from when you know you should know how to do something, and you don't. Like for her, she forgot how to use a can opener. Now, not permanently, but a couple of times when she's lost her memory, she's forgotten how to use a can opener. And so she's like, I know this is a can opener and I know what it does, and I remember having used it before, like as a functional memory, but I cannot remember how to pick it up, hook it to a can, and apply it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And like she talked about that in reference to actually knowing some people specifically with Alzheimer's. And I remember it from when I worked in the Alzheimer's ward in my first job, actually at a nursing home. And it really was this experience of nobody was really distressed about lost memories. They were distressed about lost skills related to memory. And so it was like, I'm trying to, fold this thing, and I can't remember how. I'm trying to work the phone, and I can't remember how. And it's making me frustrated and angry, not because of, oh, the memory's lost. Oh my God, I need to remember the memory, but because I should have this skill to make my life better.
Right.
And also, my mom was very clear, and I think this will make sense to a lot of people who are disabled. If anyone who is, has a challenge like that is listening or watches this, going, you just don't have time and energy to hunt down memories. You're too busy trying to live.
Yeah.
And I thought that was neat, because it's like you do at the end of the day, no matter what's gone on, have to live.
Yeah.
You have to, get dressed and eat food, and if you have medication, take that, all those things. Okay, anyway, so I wanted to kind of put that in here because I did do that interview. So if that adds to the game, hopefully. Anyway, one more. With heavy eyes, I study the letters. What are you telling me? Fingering frayed edges, spinning them between fingers, I see. Fragments of a map, shredded, dispersed. Okay, so they're not actually full notes.
Oh,
Maybe? If only I had time to piece them together. The graphics suggested to me they were full regular pieces of paper, but the game is saying otherwise. Not if you had something to say about it. Not if you had something to say about it, depression. Exhausted, I drag myself to the couch and slump onto it, hugging the letters. Didn't realize how hard this was without Ilar being around. Without anyone. Also, are the two bodies frozen still there? Yours and Ilar's? Or, is everything gone? Or the room just so big and the couch is way the fuck over there that you're really not looking at any of it? Don't I want to live? Shouldn't that be enough? But I'm so tired. Time to rest. I close my eyes and lie on the couch. Light dims. Sound dulls. Walls press in. Just for a little while. Just to freshen up. Maybe Ilar will be here when I wake up. A window latch breaks and rain comes splattering upon me. Warm rain. Sticky, warm rain. Rain is not supposed to be sticky, my bros.
We have a
not
problem.
Supposed to be sticky. Oh no. I sit up, annoyed. This will be a mess to clean up. I'm drenched already. How long was I asleep? Wiping my face with blood-covered hands. Yep. I survey the room. Blood everywhere. Maybe it just rains blood in this world. Sweet, dark, rippling. A right mess. Ilar forgot to close the windows again. Again! Ilar! I shout. Distant rumbles. Where are they? I'll be sunk if I'm cleaning this up myself. Ilar! I really love how they use their curse words in here. It's very clear, all 3 or 4 of them, exactly how they work and what they intend to be, and I love it. I march through the halls, up the winding stairs, throwing open doors to dark, empty rooms. Nothing. Where are they? Ilar! Where are they? Where are they? I realize that I'm worried now. Where are they? A trail behind me. I raise hands to my face. Metallic. Greasy. Whose blood is this? Am I hurt? Look at that. Damn. Can't find any wounds on me. No pain. Nothing. I pinch a bit of skin from my forearm. no pain. Nothing. I feel nothing. No, 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 no. No? Ilar? Where are you? Ilar? Bolting down the hall, I shout, Ilar! I wake up to my own shouting. Hoarseness burns my throat. A dream? I bolt upright, sparks swimming in my eyes, hairs on the back of my neck tingling. Someone's watching me. Candle flames jitter on the table beside me. Shadows dance. Could I be imagining it? No, I don't know how I know, but I do. Should I look? Well, we're gonna find out if we should look in the next one.
Hey, so thank you very much, everybody, for joining us. We do appreciate it. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, subscribe, and also share our videos. It has been greatly helpful so far, and we really appreciate all the help that you can provide. But again, no pressure. It's been fantastic to have the people around that we do, and we always love hearing from you.
Yes!
Please also feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We have some links in the description down below. We've also got links to our Twitch if you would like to actually stream games with us, because guess what?
We do that.
We do it. We do it at least 2 to 3 times a week, and we would love to see you there. So, I have been Scandal.
And I have been Lies. And it was great playing with you. Bye!